Swam through
Thanks,
Sirius.
Bridge. Move is complete.
Copy that.
Oh yeah, lower left pilot, there's a fuzzy looking fan shaped colony on the rock, kind of in this little channel crevice. Lower center.
Lower center right
It
here.
looks exactly like the color of the rock, so I can't give you any more definition, but it's in one of these crevices.
Let's do a zoom. Is it the one that's right here in the center?
Right here, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what that is. Is this one of the...
The Chrysogorgias?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay. Because I had recalled that you had seen two when I was at lunch, but I wasn't sure if this was one of them. But this one has a chirostylid squat lobster as well on the tip of the colony. It's not going to be a great colony to image since it's kind of perpendicular here to the axis of the colony, but or parallel rather. So I think just documenting that, we can move on.
Copy that. Is that enough for documentation?
Yeah, I think that's enough.
Okay.
Do we get some better images down
Yeah.
deeper? Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, we have images of this already, but
If video
not on
could,
this wall.
if video could get a little bit more.
Yeah. Whatever you need, video. It's not going to be real steady right now.
That's all right. I'll come wide.
Got a little bit. There we go. Yeah, you can see the flow
Start
there.
to see some shimmering
You
water
going
now.
wide?
The shimmering
Great.
water, probably an indicator of mixing in this area. Warm water with cooler water. I never did get a full idea of if those were actually mussel shells way down
Yeah.
deep on the bottom.
And we haven't seen any alive climbing up.
And they look very different than the Acesta, but yeah, we'll see. Still have a little ways to go.
Oh, now talking about it. You mentioned it.
Yep.
There's another echinoderm to the left.
Looks like that same, possibly a regular urchin that we saw on the mud.
En el medio de cámara es un erizo pasible irregular y un anemone en la izquierda. Might be another stylaster.
I think it's another Crypthelia, yeah. I haven't seen much diversity in form. I know there's, I think there's at least two stylastrids in this area that we can easily identify from this view. One being a smaller stylaster, only a couple centimeters though, and another one being Crypthelia. Crypthelia seems to be the most abundant though. Still no large colonies in this area.
No, everything's pretty small.
they maybe preemptively get a 10-meter move in. Since it looks like it flattens out.
Yeah, it
quite
looks
a
like you
bit.
can see over it.
Yeah, I can see over it. I'm fine with same direction, like 5-5.
Yeah. Ready for that now?
Yeah, I am if pilot is.
I am. I'm just going to take a quick look here and then kind of head forward.
Interesting drop off.
Bridge RV nav.
Okay, I guess I can.
I would like another move, please, of 10 meters. That's 10 meters, bearing 055, speed decimal 2 knots.
And the lower right-hand side now, on the rock face, there's some white, I don't know what they are, white fan or white tuft, kind of in this crevice, but close to us. Right about mid-screen right now, on the right middle.
Oh, right there.
Right there, yeah. Just snap zoom on that.
Yeah, we can do that. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, come on in video.
Couldn't tell if those are parts of sponges or what.
Ooh.
I think that's another stylastrid.
Yeah, it looks like a sponge.
Yeah, a sponge and a stylastrid on some conglomeration there of
A bunch of smaller
sponge
sponges,
and,
yeah. Yeah, when you really zoom in, you see all the really tiny organisms that are living on these.
Yeah, that's right.
This substrate.
Okay, pilot, thanks.
Okay. Come on out video.
That looks like another sea star.
Yeah, that's right.
This might be a different one. Pilot, this is watch lead. Could you possibly snapshot the sea star right in the middle of the screen?
Sure, we can do that.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of mussel shells in that little crevice.
Wonder where they're coming from.
I keep saying mussels, but it's probably some other type of bivalve. Can't really confirm, but we know most likely they didn't start and grow up in that crack, so they may be falling
Okay,
down
come on
from
in
somewhere
video.
above.
Huh.
It's another sea star.
Looks like a honeycomb.
Move should be about done, pilots.
Copy that.
So this is a newer species for this expedition so far. I believe we haven't observed this sea star in the past 3 dives. You could kind of see their tube feet.
That's Mexum.
Thanks, video.
Hanging the side of the arms. This is a slime star.
Jumpy there.
Watch lead, this is Nav.
Hi, Nav.
Hi, I just wanted to check in and talk to you about our timing a little bit. I just wanted to find out if waypoints 3 and 4 are hard targets, or if the idea is just to kind of make our way to the top, contour, and then go laterally along the edge as far as we can. Are we hoping to get to waypoint 4, or are we fine with our current pace?
Are we?
Yeah, I think the waypoint 4 was really for just following the contour. Now, originally we had
Do we wanna
planned
get
to go
lasers
left,
on
but we
this?
thought it would be better for the
I
ship
think
to
the
go
lasers are still
to
on,
keep
so
going in the
if you
same
come out,
direction.
You'll see 'em.
So basically, when we get to the top of this feature, whatever looks like the top,
Oh, they
we're just going to follow
Yeah,
any
they
sort
were
of
on.
rocky or
And then I turned it
rocky hard substrate that we find that kind of wraps around this contour at waypoint 2.
Okay.
All right.
So are you happy with your current
Thank you,
pace?
pilots.
Yep.
Up the
Come
slope?
on out.
Yeah, this is a good pace. We can see plenty of things here.
Copy that. Thanks.
That's full wide.
Full wide.
Great.
So this is Chris Ma. How far behind am I?
What are you looking at now?
Slime Star?
Okay,
Ah,
you're right on us.
You're up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Now there's another urchin, right? I believe that's a different species of sea urchin for this dive. Can we do a snapshot? It's like right in the lower bottom of the screen in the middle.
Sure,
Please,
it's right
pilot?
below the lasers right now?
Yes.
Sure.
Well, anyway, so it looks like you were indeed looking at a species of Pteraster. Those are slime stars, and those are unusual because they have an interesting sort of circus tent that covers the actual surface of the animal. And taken from experience, you can pick these up. If we were to collect that and pick it up and bring it up on deck,
All right, come on in, video.
it would probably ooze mucus as a defense mechanism, and those things produce a lot of it. They come down in threads. There's a lot of weird things about them, and phylogenetically, like in the family tree of things, it turns out they're actually early members in the starfish
I think they would.
sort of radiation of modern sea stars. So there's all sorts of strange things that pterasterids are involved with, their morphology and their larval mode and whatnot. So I'm glad we're seeing apparently all of the starfish at once today.
Thank you, pilots.
Of course, has to be at home while I'm sort of. Oh, and so I'm seeing you're coming up on an Aspido-diadematid now.
That's right.
This is a sea urchin that the common names are escaping me, but they're like the long-spined sea urchins, and these are related to diadematids, like the shallow water long-spined ones. And I believe Stacy did work on diadema.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my toe
So
hold here.
these are odd because they're the spines are really long and kind of curved, but they have
Come
little
back in.
pads on the end, and they use them to walk along the bottom, kind of like a giant spider. And they're just bizarre things. This one I've not seen before. I don't think it's a Spido-diadema. It might be Plesio-diadema, but
They look so
Sometimes
similar to
you
the shallow water
see a giant
species.
sort of anal bulb on the top where the poop comes out. I'm sorry, you were about to.
Oh no, yeah, I was saying they look very similar to the shallow water species, but not such. They have much longer spines. Are the spines as venomous as the shallow water species?
I don't believe so. No. I think I mean, like the people I've spoken to
All right,
who
video's happy.
collected them, if anything, they're very fragile when they reach the surface. But you know, in contrast to those like those big placental urchins, the Formosoma, the things that you were seeing the other day, the Echinotherids. Those Echinotherids are very venomous, and at least the ones that I've had people tell me about from the Pacific. I've never been stung by one myself,
Great.
but
yeah, whenever
but
you'd like
you
to
know,
do
I'm
that, you can.
told that the larger the like a fire, if you bring one of those pancake urchins up to the surface, especially it's a really big one, those can give your hand a very unpleasant sensation for a few hours. That's not really something that's well published because I don't think that's something that easily makes its way into a scientific journal. But,
Yeah.
Right.
but yeah, but these are, I'm not sure what the current state of diademacean phylogeny is, but I think these are considered to be fairly early in the, or at least I think Aspido-diadematids have fossil representatives that are pretty well
Big fish.
present. I'll have to double check on that. I mean, there are relatively well represented as fossils. But
Let's get this
I'll
fish
double
if we
check.
can.
But yeah, no, there's definitely, that's the second species of Aspido-diadematids that I think we've seen so far. That was a really nice, rich red one.
Come on then.
So really a kind of a banner day for echinoderms. Dr. Posson has a whole poster of of these deep sea echinoderms on his wall outside of his office. Unfortunately, I'm not at the Smithsonian right now, so I don't have that right at my fingertips. But anyway, happy that the time lag has sort of gotten a little better, and I'm looking forward to tuning into more of today's exciting dives. So thanks very much.
Excellent. Thanks for your input here.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Looks like we're looking at a roughie, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the roughies.
Looks like another roughie. Yeah, I can't remember. What depth were we looking at roughies? It was about this depth, wasn't it?
That was on
dive 2. Yeah. It was a little, I think it was about this depth, yeah. We started at 700 meters, went up to 4 something. So, yeah, another roughie. I remember on that was the dive where we kind of got to the top of this knoll and we saw one snapper-looking fish.
Yeah, and it was a ruby fish.
It is a ruby fish?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
We thought it might be a snapper, but.
Well, hopefully, I think we'll get a little bit shallower than on this dive than on that last dive. But. All right. Nice fish moment.
Good video.
Just another moment, if possible. Now that he's in the lights. Okay, thank you, pilot.
Rather big rocky compared to the ones we've seen lately. Thanks, pilot. We can move on. Can we zoom in on that long stalk?
Sure. Get just a little bit closer.
Stick your lasers on.
Yeah, that'd be great. Come on in, video.
Alright, get them off.
So this doesn't look like the Stichopathes corals we've been seeing lately. Although I'm trying to tell what kind of coral it is right now. I think it looks like an octocoral.
That's my
scanning for the presence of dark nodes, and I do think I see them, which would indicate it's possibly some kind of bamboo coral. But the polyps don't look very much like a bamboo coral at all. They're yellow, kind of off-white color. Of course, we have our chirostylid. Look at the size of the hairs on that chirostylid. I'm guessing those are probably sensory. Whenever it senses a
something
prey
close.
item, yeah, shrimp or.
Go to the top real quick to take a peek.
Can we get as best as you can zoom on the polyps?
Sure.
I know it's moving around quite a bit because it's not well
Do you want me to come out,
anchored
pilot?
Yeah,
to
just
the.
for a second. I'll get more stationary here. Maybe get a little contrast Okay. Come on back in.
That's max zoom.
Copy.
All right, I think that's best we're going to do
Okay.
on the science side.
You're good, video.
Thanks for that.
Video coming wide.
Great.
So we are at a depth of 466 meters, heading up to the top of this rather steep wall at the head of a large amphitheater-like structure, a large slump. Can we look down in the middle? Down towards the middle, I guess. Right under where the lasers would be, I thought we saw some white branching structures in the seafloor. Now they're kind of lower.
Are they off
left.
screen right now?
No, they're left on this little outcrop. Kind of very small, maybe 10 centimeters across. Yeah, right there.
Sure, come on in, video. Right next
Sorry,
to
it's,
lasers
yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's kind of nondescript, so difficult to describe. But okay, that's it. Thanks.
Copy that.
I thought there was something more there.
Yeah.
Come on, wide video.
Pilots, I'd recommend maybe making a move up slope and making a little bit of progress here.
Copy that. How are we looking? Yeah, looks good on Sirius.
Yeah, it looks like it flattens out a little bit.
Should we try maybe a 20-meter move and maybe push up slope a little bit?
Yeah, I think we can do that. I'm still looking like 5.5 is good for me. Plus or minus.
Y buenas tardes, estamos buceando en un sitio sur-oeste de Santa Cruz en las Islas Vírgenes. Empezamos en 570 metros de profundidad y subimos hasta ahora estamos en 458 metros de profundidad.
Pilot video switching
Estamos explorando un pendiente empinada hoy con muchos organismos pequeños y vimos muchos peces y corales blandos.
Sorry, could we go back to the left, pilot? I just saw something on the way out.
Sure.
A rather large fan that may have been dead, but I just want to make sure. In the lower left here, you see with the brittle star on it? Very far lower left.
Yes.
I'm dying to see some alive coral here. Sorry for the pun. And I think this one might actually be alive with its original organism.
Okay, video, you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's come on in.
All right. Looks great. So I don't quite know what this is, but at least it's an octocoral. It's probably one of the more substantial branching octocorals we've seen so far. Although the brittle star actually has a really interesting coloration pattern, kind of this orange splotchy. I don't quite know where to start on this one. I'm going to guess that it's most likely some sort of plexaurid, but it's not one that I immediately recognize. Anyone on the line or on the chat have some input here?
Estamos mirando un coral blando con una estrella frágil.
There are 8 meters or so in that move, Sean.
Copy that.
Your sonar's still looking good though, yeah?
Y un camarón muy chiquito.
We're good for now.
I could have him come to an easy stop if we think we're going to be here a while.
Yeah, very interesting.
Watch these, is there a lot that you want to see on this?
Just hold it for a few more seconds if you could,
well,
and
okay.
then I think we can move on, but
Yeah, we can.
I think we should get as much imagery of this as possible. Yeah, I always wondered what those were.
Kind of look like comb, like a ctenophore type
Yeah,
thing.
I thought they were maybe some sort of juvenile brittle star or something. All right, thanks, pilots.
Great. Video, let's go wide. I'm going to jump ahead just a little bit.
Yes, now we can probably.
Definitely an odd plexaurid. Kind of coloration pattern is fairly neutral. Normally you see them, they're orange or sometimes even green or purple, but that one is kind of a nondescript neutral
bump my
brown
out as well.
Sure. Could be 20 meters.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So it looks like we've reached the top of most of this wall. There could be some more left up there, but I think I see some more rise in the distance, but I guess some mix of topography right now. This seems to be more moderate slope, soft bottom type of habitat. No blue whales.
No blue whales or dolphins.
No blue whales, no dolphins, no coral garden.
Oh, we are not finished just yet.
We are not finished yet. Patience will be rewarded.
We got something good up here.
Hopefully we can get some input from our geologists ashore about what we were looking at in terms of the geological origins of the area of St. Croix with some photographs.
Are we going to want to look at this watch leads?
I believe that's a dead, one of those dead irregulars.
Copy that.
Yep.
Yeah, sea urchins.
Skip that.
Looks like a sedarid urchin.
How about this coming into the lasers right now?
Yeah, could we just snap zoom? Because I
Sure.
think this
Yeah, I'll
is
slow down as I
new
get near
species
it.
for this dive.
Come on in video. We can kill lasers.
Lasers coming out.
Looks like that move is about complete.
Yeah, I piloted about 42
There's,
degrees.
like hydroids growing off its spines. It's interesting.
Okay with
Yeah, I can't tell if that was part of the substrate or if it was on spines, but yeah, I guess, yep.
Yeah, you could see some, I think,
And the-
old growth.
The plumes to the left are also hydroids, I think. Some nice camouflage.
Mm-hmm. So this is another type of sea urchin. It's a pencil sea urchin, sedarid urchin. Has thicker spines.
Thanks, pilot. Science is done and for this specimen.
And lasers back on, please.
Got it.
Thanks.
Is that sponge debris?
I'm not sure. At one point I thought it was moving, but
You want to do a quick zoom here video while I go by? I think it's just...
Yeah, Nav, I think we could do another 20-meter bump.
Squat lobster.
Let me check in with Watch
Some
Lead
sponge
about
debris.
that, 'cause I know they were just wanting to make it to the top of the
Coming
features.
out.
They might want to just start moving laterally from here. But
You got it? Yeah.
Watch Lead, Nav.
Yes, Nav.
So it seems like it's flattened out quite a bit. We're happy to continue moving upslope to waypoint 2, which is about 60 meters ahead of the vehicles now, horizontally. Or we can maybe try to start to move laterally to follow the top of this steeper section.
We like the latter option. There's nothing too strict about waypoint 2 and 3, so we can just move lateral.
Great. We'll work with the
zoom here,
pilots
video.
to get that going. All right.
What is
Did you catch
that?
that, Sean?
Looks like a
Yeah, so
one of the
maybe once
green
it
eyes
is
that
done,
we
can
saw
kinda
earlier.
Swing around to starboard. Try to reacquire the top of that steep slope. And you can turn your head to starboard, and then we'll try to find that boundary.
We just kind of follow the edge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you got it.
Add closer to Like 60 degrees or something, or?
Might be almost straight east. Let's see. When you're done, you can just kind of cheat this way, starboard, and then I'll rotate with you.
All right, come on out, video. I was hoping we'd get something there.
Yeah. He's moving away from him, from a male.
He was almost there.
So we were just looking at a squat lobster and a fish, possibly a green eye.
As you come to starboard, I'll rotate. And we'll look the edge.
Okay. And I only caught part of that conversation. They kind of want to go just along that edge for the rest of the way.
Yeah, so I kind of follow the contour.
Great.
That's a bunch of
Debris.
sargassum there.
Steep
Yeah.
slope meets the shallow part.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It might be a Croix.
Yeah. Might be a few here, in fact. What's that stalk coming off the right-hand side? Just keeps going and going.
Wow. Another one down there.
I think that might be the same coral that we imaged a while back, but the one just below it is not. So we were imaging a yellow-looking coral colony with this was a bamboo coral with a yellow polyps. That seems like that's the same one as above, but the one underneath could be something different. Well, I was predicting a coral wonderland, but 2 species is better than none. So I guess this counts as a wonderland.
Well, technically this is the third species because we have the Croix, then we have the other one, and this would be the third, right?
Of bamboos, or no?
Oh, no. But
No,
just in
we
corals
have a respectable list, about 10 or so different.
the cup corals
Yeah,
also.
cup
Just a
corals. Then we saw some Solanus amelia down below. This one is
looks like you're looking at
very weird
105.
looking.
Still pointing
bunch. The nodes are really
slightly up slope.
prominent.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I was thinking we could,
and I can't tell.
point slightly at the slope.
Yeah, it looks like the
follow,
polyps are alive, but they're
into
just
the contour.
very small.
I'm thinking maybe we we can move you even a
Very small
little
polyps.
sharper angle to starboard than where you're looking.
Yeah.
And even
For
if
1 second, I
veterans
thought it
come
was
off the
completely
slope,
grazed,
come
but
down and
Yeah.
meet that
no, they're
boundary,
there.
so
They look to be alternating as well.
this looks like I mean, the contour and high pack is
One side of the colony has.
130 or so.
Well,
Yeah, I'm fine with
there
that.
seems
do
to be
a
some sort of
130,
alternation to the
like
polyps,
20
except,
Yeah,
meters
it looks like 2
except in a
and
few
1.
areas.
Yeah.
Gets us
but the interesting thing
Yeah.
is
or 140,
how it's
Okay.
branching.
20 meters, see where that gets us, and then what do you think?
It has multiple branches
Good to me.
Does that make sense to you, Andy?
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
earlier stage of the colony,
You could actually
and then it just grows
I'll
very,
turn
very
it
long.
Back almost a little bit.
well, you could just stay, looking perpendicular to the slope, but just kind of,
Okay.
Yeah.
On the side of it.
Yeah. As soon as
This
it
looks
moves,
like an
Yeah.
internodal branching
and then we might have to have you come
bamboo
down
coral.
in altitude, or come down in depth to reacquire the boundary of the slope. But we don't have to do that quite yet.
Let's go back in video.
Very interesting. Thanks, pilot.
Copy that video whenever you have a good shot.
We have a tentative identification on it, but I'm not sure how much we're going to be able to get from photo at this point, but this is great footage. Yeah, what were those?
I don't know. Can we zoom in on the lower branch really quick?
Sure.
There's some white tube things growing off of it.
Just 1 second video.
They might be some worm. It looks like there's worms.
Worms?
Yeah.
Okay, come on.
tube worms or?
Yeah, tube worms.
Yeah, some sort of tube. Yep.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Copy that. All right, video. Come on out. You can come wide, video.
Yep.
Esa especie se llama coral bambú. Es un coral blando.
Get over this guy. Have you started any move yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking 20 meters, 130, and then you might have to come down a bit to reacquire the bottom.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Good, so he's facing 115 right now.
Yep, I'm going to keep coming over
So
and down.
pilot over to the left-hand side. I see.
Oh, wait.
Never mind.
Yeah, hold on. Sorry. I see a potential candidate with that brittle star we were looking at on the black coral earlier. I see one dead ahead, right in the crevice of that little rocky outcrop there.
Move the ship closer to you.
Yeah, I still don't see it yet. Compared to the lasers, it's where?
Just coming into the lasers right now.
Okay.
You can see the brittle star kind of floating there.
Pretty far ahead.
I don't even see it. Oh, right there. Yeah, we might have to move if you want to bump me.
Why don't we do a zoom from here and see if something they really want?
Yeah, a quick zoom here just to see if I should set up for anything.
Yeah, let's take a look first because, yeah, it looks to be that same type of brittle star, or, brittle star, but on a different type of black coral. The one we were looking at earlier was this fuzzier orange looking.
Definitely still sniff it.
This one is pale gray.
Yeah.
Watch lead, this is Nav.
Yeah, Nav.
Yeah, so if this is something we're interested in, I'd have to move the ship closer to where D2 is now. We were hoping to make a move in a slightly different direction to get us back on that boundary between the steeper and shallower slopes. So just to let you know, we'd have to take a little bit of time to bring the ship to D2 if this is something we want.
And also watch these, we're going to have to snip the top of this as well.
But
all right.
Certainly something we can do. Just want to make you aware of that.
Yeah, they seem to be around here as well throughout, so let's continue on with your move as intended.
Copy that. All right.
But this is what we'll be looking for, watch leads?
Yeah, something similar to that.
Great.
So your way is stretched out ahead. So
yeah, I'm going to come on back here.
Oh, big fish.
We'll back up here in a second.
It came out of that hole.
With those black corals too, they're fairly bendy. They are lightweight.
So we're going to have to do a zoom from here video. It's a big fish.
Yeah? Doesn't want to be seen very well, does it?
No.
When we were going in on the coral, he was down in this hole.
Oh, okay.
Certainly got the fin structure, right?
And back
Yeah.
a little bit
Forked
here video,
tail.
so.
I'm trying to see its mouth. Actually, this might be a... I don't want to jinx myself, but it might... I don't know. I don't want to say it. A queen snapper. Is there... If anyone from shoreside could...
Yeah, I'm going to keep coming back here.
And I can't get a good look on his eyes.
The lasers.
See if they were yellow.
He's out of here, though.
Yep.
So queen snappers have yellow eyes?
No, that's silk snappers.
I see.
They're called yellow eye snappers. But this looks like it could be a queen.
Okay, let's let that one go.
Well, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
We've been out here for
coming down.
This is
how long? Almost a week now, and this is the first one we've seen.
Yeah, this is definitely their depth range, their lower depth range.
All right, one's pretty much looking in that direction. So I'm going to put in 20 meters to start.
Yeah, copy that.
Sounds good.
130, is that right?
Yes.
Copy.
Bridge, RV nav. Yeah, we'd like to request a ship move of 20 meters, 20 meters, bearing 130, speed decimal 2 knots. Good copy. Yeah, it should do pretty well. It's much steeper right there.
Oh, yeah.
This is exactly where we want to be. So you could turn your head, face into the slope, look at stuff while he moves to you.
Sounds good to me.
Why don't you come back to him a bit? You're still stretched out like, pretty far.
So we're more or less, for the shore side, everyone on shore, we are more or less at the top of this long slope that we've been climbing all this morning and early afternoon. There's a pretty prominent ridge that runs along the top of this feature that we're going to try and stay more or less on the cusp of.
Go down a little bit, actually.
As we move eastward.
Maybe get this guy.
Our depth right now is around 456 meters, but the original end of the dive track was for around 405 meters.
Can we lighten up just a little? There we go, video. Thanks.
407 meters. I see a Chonax down below there.
Zoom in a little bit, video. Perfect. And
right.
kill lasers.
Yep.
Thank you. Is that like a scar running around him, or?
I'm gonna range your sonar down to 10 meters again.
Okay, thank you.
So this is a Chonax. Oh, you saw this earlier? Okay.
We've already seen
Then,
this, watch it?
yes, we have.
Okay.
Then we can move on.
All right, video, whenever you have your shot.
We're doing a little bit of a celebratory Queen Snapper party back here. Yeah.
I wish we could have gotten a better view of it.
Ah, yes. It is a Queen Snapper. I didn't want to say it. Thank you, Ken.
So a little bit beyond the ideal 400-meter record, 400-meter suspected.
There's some stocks just up on top of this.
Yeah, Luis
rock
Ramon,
here.
a fisherman from the West Coast, said down to 450, so
Yeah, well, that's
we're
right in it. Is there something in there that you see?
I thought I'm not sure what this orange is. Are you able to tell already?
I can't tell.
Go ahead and zoom in, video.
Do you want?
Yeah, we might try that.
Try the high beams.
I think it might be a octopus.
Video.
I don't know what it is.
Octopus,
It
maybe?
is an octopus, right?
Could be.
Go ahead, try.
High beams coming on.
I think it is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you could see.
Wow,
The
that's a good
arms.
eye.
What day is today?
Sunday.
Sunday.
That's
Sorry.
close.
That looks like that move's about done, Sean.
Yeah, copy that.
Yep, that's an octopus. All tucked up. I wonder, usually they assume that position when they're brooding. So it could be that this particular individual has a brood.
Yeah. Coming up a little.
Look at that stare.
Copy, Bridge. Thanks.
All right. I don't know what kind of ID we can get out of this, but we'll
Yeah.
send it back to the shore.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
And there were some stocks up above us. And I think you can kill the fog lights
Yeah,
there.
fog lights coming off.
Thanks. Is this
We're gonna pass on this on these. We're looking for the ones that are more orange in coloration.
copy that?
And we like to thank all of the people listening today, especially our shore-based scientists for their participation. I know it's a Sunday, and they're out there watching this video and helping us out with identification. And also everyone who is listening from all different parts of the world, especially Russia, Japan, and Germany. Thank you for tuning in and watching us on the Okeanos Explorer. Gracias por todos están escuchando y mirando de Okeanos Explorer y de todo. Gracias por tu participación en un domingo.
Yeah, 130. Yeah,
Yep.
good.
Especialmente las personas que están en el ecoexploratorio en San Juan. Saludos.
Bridge, this is RV Nav. I would like another move, please. Of 20 meters, 20 meters, bearing 130, speed decimal 2 knots. Good copy.
Did you want to take a quick look at this watch lead?
Would you like to take a look at this?
This is looks like the same kind of yellow S1 clade bamboo coral we were looking at earlier, so I don't think we need to, but good to note that there's 2 chirostylids.
Try not to get too far out ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to turn around and come back a little bit, actually.
Si hay un pescador está mirando, vimos un cartucho en 450 metros de profundidad. Es el primer visto de un cartucho en esta expedición. Pilot, this is watch lead. There's something right above the lasers. I'm not sure if that's like a stocked crinoid closed up or something else. Can we do a snapshot?
We sure can. Go ahead, video. This is what you were talking about, right, Watcher?
Yes.
Okay.
It's one of those stocked glass sponges. Okay, that's okay. That's good.
Okay. Video when you're clear. Thank you. And over to the right here, this looks like what we were looking at earlier. You can zoom past the skids video. Thanks.
Probably the ship coming to a stop. 20 meters in high pack. It's probably about done.
Copy that.
Do we have any interest in what's coming up between the lasers here shortly from the right?
Not from shore, however, in the lower left. Is that a sponge?
No, I think it might be a
Another
Chrysogorgia.
Chrysogorgia and octocoral. Yeah. Can we look at that?
We sure can.
Curious if there's any associates in it as well. We weren't able to previously identify this as to the species level, correct?
No.
No. Actually, is that what it is? I can't tell. Maybe it was something else. It looks far too